Okay, recap for Thursday, the 19th of February 2026. As you can tell from my voice, I am not happy, and rightfully so, because just look at this garbage price action. Alright, today I kind of messed up, but let me just explain what my thoughts, and even though technically my bias played out, there was just, when it came to it to the day, there was just a lot of conflicting things going through my head, and that's what kind of caused me to mess up. Right? So in yesterday's video, right, what I explained is that we're bearish. The way that we're closed, I'm gonna expect tomorrow to wait. Didn't take. Right. I'm expecting tomorrow, as in Thursday today, to head lower and take this low. Right. This is just my main target. So let me just mark that out actually because I thought we already took it, but apparently we didn't. So on Tuesday, I said Wednesday is gonna go up, right? Because this gap is small, we're gonna go visit the volume balance on a wick, and I would love for us to close below this fair value gap, which would make tomorrow, Thursday, guaranteed that it's bearish, right? So on the 4 hours, you can see on the daily fair value gap to confirm we're closing below midpoint of that, right? But the only problem is once we like we're can't speak. Before market open, we've left this gap open, right? And it was like at the midpoint and there was a lot of liquidity above, right? So we haven't done kind of, if we're gonna expand much lower, we normally should take the liquidity, right? That's how normally we should do it. So I was thinking, alright, we're gonna open up, go to the discount and visit this fair value gap on the hourly, right? And then dump, right? That's my original bias. However, market opened, and rather than making these a relative equal lows and starts heading higher first, he actually headed lower, right? And it kept this liquidity intact and then went again in reverse. So initially, I tried to just take the quick short to, you know, thinking that we're gonna dump first, then pump, and I just realized that was dumb, so I just closed the trade basically instantly. Took a small loss on that, right? On the CISD. I don't even know why. So I can't explain the first trade. That's just dumb, right? It's straight dumbness. However, realizing that okay, if we can get above the first presented fair value gap right here, and we seem to not have interest to go lower, then I'm gonna look at the original idea. Okay, let's go up first, and then we'll dump later. And I'm like, okay, if I can just take the long, then I don't care about us distributing down, right? That can happen later or whatever, but I know this is gonna happen, right? So let's just put a lipstick in the chart. You can see there's a lot of things, right? So the main issue right now is we're bearish, but we manipulated lower first, right? So that was kind of an issue with me. Like, okay, we're bearish, we kind of meant to manipulate higher first, right? Visit the discount. Originally, the discount was gonna be up there, right? Regardless, it's a good discount. Why? Because there's a lot of PD arrays, and at the same time, we would be closing either the full gap or like 0.75, regardless, right? Midpoint or the gap would be filled. So it's a high probability trade to just visit the gap and close it. So forget about the garbage loss that I took. The main second trade is this. Once we got above the first presented, right, we not seem to be wanting to go lower. Let me check it, but it might do. No, ES hasn't. If I did I not wait for ES? I did. See, ES would have kept me in there if I traded ES. Right. Regardless, NQ closes above, ES closes above at the same minute, 9:44. So take my entry on the first presented, and just because it was far, I kind of put my stop loss somewhere around here, right? Just slightly below the rejection block. What I didn't have drawn is I had the high of the new weekly opening gap. I didn't have the low of the new weekly opening gap. And just knowing this entry, my stop loss should be at the low regardless, right? I don't know why I kind of jammed it up. It's probably because I took that unnecessary loss at the start, right? So I kind of didn't want to lose more. Use like near my daily limit, and because the my TP was kind of close for this day. It was like only around 75 points, right? I was not looking for much more than that. So it seemed to me that I don't remember me having like a 1-to-1 trade almost, right? That was just almost 1-to-1 trade. I don't even remember having trades like that ever, right? So that's why I kind of jammed it up. And as you can see, next minute, boom, we come down and aggressively wake me out and then go all the way back up and go to TP. So that just starts the cycle again. Me seeing myself getting wicked out and then it goes to TP. And then now, rather than saying, hey, I should be done for the day, close my account, lock it out, whatever, I started revenge trading in this bullshit, right? At one point, there was logic, right? I was gonna take this short, but then it just felt wrong, right? It felt sus. So I waited for it, and then again, and then after that, I can't even tell you what I've done. Like in this mess, my bias changed to like, oh, might be going for the longs, even though I know we're bearish. We're not even closing above this, right? We might close here on the 1 minute, but on the 5 minute, we haven't closed above this. There was so many conflicting things, and by here I should already be done, right? My trade, I missed it, or I got stopped out, right? I should have closed my account, but I let myself just again, the bad habits again creep back in, and I just started revenge trading until I done some serious damage to the account, and I stopped, right? Anyway, after all this BS, we eventually head lower, but we actually, and then we take the one of the main liquidities that I wanted, and maybe I wanted us to actually take this daily low. So going up to go down was the plan. It did go up and went down, kinda, but because it done it so late, it doesn't need to come to previous daily low. It can just take the AM low, especially that is after lunch, I believe. Yep, waits for 12, and that's why we actually can go down from here. So it's just bad execution for me, right? The stop loss was too tight. That's my, I'm guessing, one impulsive trade that caused me to have a tight stop loss on my next trade, right? Which then started the fact that I'm not trying to accept that today should a losing day, right? And just start bench trading and making it even worse. Even though I know what should happen, it's not the cleanest, it's not the nicest, but I know what should happen. I know that we're bearish, so I don't expect us to go to the highs, even though we have more buy side liquidity than sell side, right? And I know the highest probable thing is just us going to discount right here. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Garbage day and garbage execution by me. Genuinely, garbage day, garbage execution. Should have done better, but hey, we live, we learn. Right, so I'm guessing after this series of winning, I'm kind of back to messing up. So I'm just gonna relax for tomorrow. I'll probably still trade tomorrow, but just relax on like the leverage. I'm guessing come back, try to reclaim. That gets the damage that done for the account. Anyway, regardless, now because today was a garbage day, it's generally just accumulation, and it's weird, right? It's weird. We're still bearish, right? Like the daily is bearish, the the 4 hours bearish, right? technically all we've done today is just visit the gap and then expanded lower from it. So I still believe that we are bearish, right? And even though Friday is normally meant to be a TGIF or whatever, but this Thursday, which is genuine garbage, normally after inside day, right? An inside day like this, we could expect a large range day tomorrow. And I'm questioning why today got held, right? Because normally price should not be held on a Thursday like this, which makes me believe that tomorrow is going to be a large range day and there's going to be some sort of news that's going to come out or something. And that's the only reason that the held price for today. So we could expect a large range day tomorrow. I'm not going to be aiming for anything crazy, but I believe if we take this low, then we're likely to take this low. This is pushing it, but it could be a possibility. However, we could have a large range day that will take both lows, unless the market structure shifts to bullish, and then it'll be like tomorrow. I'm looking for either both highs or both lows, right? And that all just depends on the market structure. I'm leaning more bearish to the lows, but hey, I can't guarantee it with this price, with this kind of price action. I don't see anything stopping us from just shooting down. So it just depends on how tomorrow plays out, and if I can execute properly, then I guess I can take uh, the loss back. The fact that we just slightly wake into this, right, makes this kind of what do you call it? Let me just double check it in this no 1 minute. Right? Yeah, we're not closing below. So that to me looks like unfinished business, and we're still gonna visit this low. So everything's said. We're just looking at lower prices, but just kind of be careful with execution and leverage and precision because of how prices reacted today. It seems a lot of, I mean, this type of manipulation is potentially meaning something is likely going to happen tomorrow out of the blue, right? Well, I guess we'll find out what that is, but there could be some news, right, that's going to come out. I know Friday is filled with news anyways. 8 you know 8:30 and 9:45 we have news, but I'm expecting like maybe a bigger one, right? Something that'll just a tweet or something. I don't know. Something that's gonna come out and be like, yo, it's time to dump. Either dump or pump, I don't know, but there's potentially something because this is not how a Thursday should react, right? Especially a Thursday that has no reason to do all this, but I'm guessing that I should have known better within its market structure, right? How we delivering lower when we meant to deliver higher first, and especially that we didn't clean higher liquidity, right? So just gonna have that to the notes. Gonna chill out. Yeah, that's the market recap. Can't really say much. I'm not in the mood to be fair to be saying much. But yeah, peace out.